Greetings and salutations. It's been a while. I'm back with a little video that I'm going to do here showing you how to magnetize. It's a question I get asked a lot because I magnetize a lot of my stuff. So I thought I'd show you guys how to do it. So I'm going to magnetize two different things here today and show you a couple of little tips that I use while magnetizing. So we've got Astaroth, or Astarath the Grim, however you want to say his name. And he's got his little backpack here. Let's switch our focus up here. So he's got his little backpack, and we're just going to magnetize him so that he sticks. So the first thing is we're just going to drill a little pilot hole right in the middle here. So we're just gonna drill in. We're not going to go too far. We want to basically drill a little further than the depth of the magnet. So we'll clean this off. So here's tip number one. So I've got magnets that are, these are 1/8 of an inch in diameter. And I've got a drill bit that's 1/8 of an inch in diameter. And I've just glued that into a piece of like a wine cork so that I can do this. A lot of people use Dremels and things like that, but anything motorized either can sometimes damage things if you lose control of it or if it goes too far. So I just do a little bit by hand, take it out, look at it, and it's not quite deep enough for the magnet. So I go a little further. Now the nice thing about doing the little pilot hole is because of the size of this drill bit, it's very difficult to just push this in and actually accidentally drill too far. So it won't really drill any further than this hole's gone. So now I can drill this guy just a tiny bit more. And then I can do this a tiny bit more. And because the top of the drill comes to a point, anytime I need to drill further, this guy will automatically find the center of that hole. So, nice little hole in the center. We'll drill out a little further. And then I will check the depth. So it looks pretty good if I just take one of these magnets off and put it in the hole. Look at that. Nice and flush. So we'll just take that magnet out of there. And we're just going to apply a little glue. Not too much. So really carefully just adding the glue in there. Because if you had too much glue, and I'm just going to use the tip just to kind of wiggle it around. If you had too much glue when you put it in, it comes squirting out the sides and everything like that, and nobody wants that. So we're just going to put this in. Fantastic. All right, so now that that's in there, the other thing I want to be really careful of is the polarity. So we're going to give that a second to set while we drill the hole in his back. And I already had the back of him pinned just so I could hold him while I was painting him. So we'll clean that up a little bit, but then, so I've already got a hole kind of going here, so we'll drill that out. Oops, a little shaky there, sorry about that. Clean off the drill bit. Whee! He thinks that tickles probably. He's just waiting for a chance to behead me, waiting for me to be taken over with the black rage and then cut my head off for drilling into his backpack there. You'll have to get over it, Astarath. How do you guys pronounce his name? Astarath? Astaroth? The Grim? Okay. So that looks like about the depth that I want. Let's just check with a magnet. Oh, look at that. Like it was made to fit because it was. So there, we'll just make that magnet take that. Now, I'm not sure if the super glue is really set. So what I'm going to do is kind of put this magnet starting to get close to it. And there I can tell that that's actually attracting. So if I push it this way, I'll feel it push against it. Yeah, so you obviously can't see that, but I can feel the resistance of the magnet trying to push away. So since you want to check the polarity like 3, 4, 5 times, because the last thing you want to do is get it wrong. But I know that this is the side that I want touching, that I want to be up on the other in Astarath's back. So I'm going to hold this like so. And here's the next tip, is have a Sharpie or something nearby so I can mark this. Great. So now that's the side that I want to be facing. Okay, so I'll set that down right there, like so. We'll pick him back up and put a little glue into his back. Oops, let's end that for you guys. Okay, not too much. It's actually probably too much. So I've picked the magnet up, and I know that it's on my fingertip of my index finger, so that's how I'm gonna basically place it in there. Whoops. Sweet, and now the super glue kind of got all over the place, so I guess this wasn't a tip I was thinking about, but tip number 3, have a little paper towel or something handy, wipe up some of the excess super glue. Now it'll take a few minutes for that to set. I don't want to put the magnets together just to check the fit and have it come popping out. I'm going to clean off this little bit of excess. Whoops, see what I did there? Crap. I think I wiped off the Sharpie part with my finger, so let's check the polarity before it sets. Okay, so that's the push. Okay. Right, that's what we wanted. Because this should attract this way. Yep, perfect. Okay, so I had it right. That gets tricky. That's a pain in the ass. Let's hope we don't do that again. And sorry, I just swore. Don't tell your moms. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is I like to magnetize the bases as well. So I can magnetize them to a sheet of metal or something like that so they don't slide around depending on how I store them. And I'm not sure if you guys saw him finished. He was in an earlier video. I think I was doing some sculpting on him. But let's adjust the... So all the hot glue and testers, clear red. Anyway, so we're going to drill in with this guy. Now this is a resin base, so this one you need to drill out. If you're using like GW bases or something like that, it's easy just to do a little bit of green stuff. And here's something you can see. The two magnets, one is just against the base, the other is elevated with the green stuff. If the magnet actually touches the metal or is real close, you get a much better bond. So even though there's a very little difference between the depth of these two magnets, the one that's actually touching is the one that's going to do most of the work. So we'll set him back down. So we want to get that depth as close to flush as we can, so we don't want to over drill. We just do it in a couple little steps. So next I take this. All right, we do this again. And I can see the depth of that is not quite enough, especially because we're going to be going in with a different drill bit here in just a second. Because a 1/8 inch magnet does not contain a serious amount of pull, but a 1/4 inch magnet does. See, they won't even let go there. See that 1/4 inch? And look what I've got here. 1/4 inch drill bit. See how that works? So another 1/4 inch, another drill into a nice little wine cork there, so we can do it by hand. And in this we just we do the same thing that we did the last time. And again, because of the size of this drill bit, it won't go any farther than I've drilled with the 1/8. So even though I've got that little pilot hole there, you can see I've cleared out all the 1/8 inch, but I can't really go any further. Like, it just doesn't really go any further. But I don't think that's quite enough, so we'll go just a tiny bit more, maybe like 2 rotations. See that we got a little bit more. Now this guy can bite in. Clean it off. Looks pretty close. Let's take a magnet and put it in there. And I actually went a little too far there, but oh well, what are you going to do? So I also like the polarity to match on all my guys. It's just a practice I'm in terms of the bases, so we'll check this guy. Okay, so I want this to be the top, so I'm just going to pull this one off. Oops, I don't know if you saw that, if I had that in shot. So I want this to be the top, so I'm going to hold it. and then slide it in like so. First we need to glue it a little bit. Okay, and then we just slide it in. Ta-da! So I'm just going to leave him on his side for a little bit, and let's go back and check these guys. So let's see how this worked. Ta-da! There we go. So I can pull them off there if maybe I wanted to switch these wings to a different guy. Usually I probably wouldn't use the wings, but I didn't have any other guys really to show you. But it also makes it easier to paint. When it comes time to paint the wings and the shoulder pads, I'll be able to get in there and do a thing. So anyway, that's our video. Thanks for watching. And if you have any requests on things that you want to see, let me know. Got some more green stuff and videos I'm going to do later as I work on some river troll spawn conversions, so stay tuned.